Y'all, I just want to say something quick about SNAP. I want to talk about SNAP because I think it's kind of wild that an important program like that. Think about all the people that are like hungry, really who are hungry. The people who receive SNAP, the majority of them, are our senior citizens. They are people who do work, but they work at places who underpay them, and they have families. And people with disabilities, the people who really get SNAP, and how hard it is to really get SNAP. And people try to act like, oh, it's so easy. Everybody can access these programs. Guys, I have never made a whole lot of money, and I have actually never been qualified for SNAP either. So before people, judge and say, I don't receive any benefits, but I think it's cruel and it's kind of ugly the way it's playing out, because there are people who really need that. And it's kind of funny to me that the American public, and I'm not saying it's all of America, but there are certain people who would rather see their fellow Americans starve or not have enough food in their bellies when other people pay taxes to supplement those programs. I pay taxes. I'm a business owner. I pay taxes. I employ people, and I also pay people a fair wage. But that has nothing to do with it. The thing I'm talking about is the fact that we have corporations, we have places that employ people that underpay them severely, and then we're sitting there trying to make it a big deal or make it a failing in life when people can't afford to buy their own food, and inflation is through the roof, and people's pay is pretty stagnant. And that's the honest truth of it, but people overlook that. But I think it's really, really sad that there are Americans who would forfeit other people's right to food, to dismiss other people. Like, if somebody is fraudulently abusing the system, you're not going to tell me that you can judge that situation and say, you know what, there's so much fraud that we just take it away from everybody. I think that is insensitive, that is cruel, and that is unjust. And I don't actually believe that there's anything such as an illegal alien. I believe that Earth is Earth, and God put all human beings here to be fruitful and multiply and take part in what's good for everybody. And I think people really don't think about the realistic fact that we have corporations paying people grossly not enough to live, and then we judge those very same people for needing a social safety net, and we don't judge the corporation for raking in huge profits. And they are really the people that are absorbing the welfare. And that's my honest take on it. I worked in a grocery store in management, and I saw plenty of it. The majority of people that you see inside of the grocery store working, that work 40 hours a week, they receive food stamps because they're not making enough money to feed their families with the job they have. Where does that make sense? But we can have people who are working on trillion-dollar pay packages and taking food out of people's mouths, and everybody's okay with that. I don't get it. And it makes me sad. It makes me upset. And I'm paying into a system, and I would like my money that I pay into taxes to be spent on people who need it. And I don't care who doesn't like it. If we can all go through a struggle, and who's to say that somebody close to you isn't experiencing that struggle? People are judging their neighbors who go to work every day struggling, and they're in the same boat that the people they're judging are in, but yet they still would rather inflict pain on someone else than just accept the fact that we're in a screwed up system where people are judged on their merit, and if they're not good enough, they don't get to eat. Or if they weren't, it doesn't matter. It's a human being. And I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand people who don't have a problem with starving other people. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. We have enough on this earth as people to provide the basic necessities for everybody. We can go, and our government can go and fund things that have nothing to do with the people and our benefit, but they can't do what it takes to take care of the people in this country. That right there is a problem for me, and I don't care who don't like my opinion on it. It is what it is. And y'all, like I said, I am not a person who has ever received a benefit like that. But I wouldn't be ashamed either if I went through a point in time where I needed it. And I don't think other people should be ashamed either when they go through and they need it. Trust me, if they were approved, they earned it. When I say earned it, there are tons of stipulations. You have to be making poverty level wages. And when I say that these people do investigate your assets and everything is computerized. They made the system to where everything is digital. So you can't even really hide an asset. And most people in America don't have liquid cash. Most Americans are poor or middle class and falling because we are in a system where greed is rewarded and it just benefits a few people, and they will twist a narrative to make people believe that the people who are falling into the gears of the system and being chewed up are the people who they earn their place as dirt. They earn their place because they aren't contributing. When these are the people who are making sure that you eat safe food, and you don't appreciate that because people don't understand that when you go in the grocery store, those people could very well miss protocols and hurt you and your family, hurt entire communities. It happens all the time. We've seen many scandals in food where that happens. In any situation where there's food being handled, we look at people and not all of us, but I'm just saying, people tend to think that people are underclass because they do a certain thing and they're underpaid for what they're doing, but they're really parts of a safety net. And a lot of people take pride in what they do. And, I came on here to talk about how I think it's unfair about what's going on with SNAP, but the bottom line is it leads back to my thought process that we are in a system that's really jacked up, that manipulates and turns the way things actually are for the benefit of the few. And then they keep everybody in a scarcity mindset and unaware and unconscious because they're just fighting every day just to survive. And nobody ever stops to say, you know what, they want to take away every societal safety net to the point where when you don't have a job because of AI, or when you turn around and you don't have a job because of mismanagement of corporations or mismanagement because of government or because they're laying off everybody, don't look back and try to figure out where the benefits with. We choose the outcomes by hoping that other people suffer so that they won't get their basic needs met. And I think that's sad because it is hurting your own neighbors. It's hurting our fellow human beings because we want to save a few pennies to neglect. Even if it's 1,000, 10,000 people that are abusing the system, you're willing to starve 42 million people for the sake of even 100,000. That's what I find twisted about the system. This is just the way I look at it. Y'all give me some feedback if you feel what I'm saying. I know that it's a complex system that we live in, but that doesn't mean that we can't unravel it and see it for what it really is. And me seeing it for what it is on this is very simple. It's that we're willing to starve other people and act like it is what it is when there is plenty of food thrown away in grocery stores. There's plenty of waste all over the place in the food chain system, but people are nothing when it comes to profit until we treat each other like we want to be treated and care for each other like we're each other's keeper. And not everybody's going to, but give me some feedback if y'all got any feedback that you want to give or anything that you like to say on this topic. I think it's kind of relevant and important at this time. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next go.